Good afternoon, Olivia. My name is Eric, and I am the HR coordinator at Hood Suites. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. How about yourself?
I'm not bad, thank you. So today I will be interviewing you in regards to the front desk agents, specifically at Homeward Suites, Allentown, West Forge, which is where we are located. So we're looking for young professionals in the hotel business, and I can tell that we are looking for these people because we want to provide high energy to our customers. So let's get started. We have a lot of candidates to interview. So first of all, tell me about yourself. Who are you?
Well, if I could choose to say who I was with one word, I would say driven. I am very goal oriented and I know I handle high stress environments super well. While a lot of problems occur, I would like to say have high problem solving skills and I want to get to the bottom of it. So I would describe myself as a driven candidate.
See, having somebody driven is important to the process of our organization. So with being driven, these type of individuals need to be right when it comes to communicating with customers. So in your own philosophy, what does customer service mean to you? Because part of our values is we want to serve our guests and customer service with the utmost respect and importance.
I think good customer service is letting the customer leave happy. While the customer may not always be right, I believe it is the job of the representative of the company at that time to make sure the customer leaves happy and everything is right with them. So good customer service is making sure everything is okay for the customer up to company standards, up to their standards, and make sure they're above your own.
How would you define bad customer service and why?
I think bad customer service would be putting your standards in place of what should be. While the company would have a certain set standard for how clean the room is, you may think, well, that's good enough. So I think bad customer service would be that's good enough. I think if you're striving for good customer service, it should be better than great.
So that is important to realize that in a business like this, you recognize what's good and what's bad when it comes to handling customers because we do want great customer service and obviously we want to minimize as many problems when it comes to customer service as possible. So I'm going to mention a little bit more about customer service and then move on to the next subject. So of course, like I said, there's a good and bad customer service. And I know you mentioned earlier that you don't believe the customer is always right. And why do you believe that the customer isn't always right?
I believe the customer could request things outside our company's standard or outside of products that we offer. While they may request a certain drink that we don't have and they could press for it, they're not right there. But we could make it right within the customer by offering a similar drink. If they prefer Coke, we can offer Pepsi. While it's not right, it is making up for what we're not there for. The customers sometimes can get cloudy judgment, expect things that we just are not able to provide, and we can make it right with them by offering them discounts, by saying we'll give you extra towels or maybe a coupon to the restaurant within our hotel. So we can make it right, but the customer's demands, the customer's beliefs might not always be right.
And you see too, sometimes when the customer isn't right, they feel angry. They want to become aggressive at times. And to an extent, it can become really stressful. So when situations arise like these, how do you handle the stress that occurs in the workplace?
Well, as of right now, I have about 5 years experience in the hospitality industry. So I like to think I have some skills on handling the stress. When I begin to get overwhelmed, I'm big into take a deep breath and compartmentalize. While you break things down onto a list and make your different priorities, it can help making your job get done a little easier and make it seem by it goes quicker. If there are guests waiting for my attention and a room needs to be changed, while the guests are standing there waiting, they would get to the top of the list. And I could change the room on my own time as long as someone wasn't waiting for it. And I would put that towards more my independent work.
See, we value organization like that, and knowing how to prioritize work is essential to being an effective front desk agent at Homewood. So when going through these priority lists, how do you, and sometimes the problems can be a bit complex. So what type of philosophy or style do you use to solve logical problems in the workplace?
When there are problems in the workplace, I tag them, and that's my term for them. I rank the problems with what has to be dealt with immediately in that moment versus what can be dealt with when I have a free minute. If something isn't exactly pressing in that exact moment, but it needs to get done, it'll go towards the bottom of the list. While if a pipe broke, that would go immediately towards the top. Around the middle would be things that need to be get done quicker, but not exactly like immediately. There's no one really pressing, there's nobody waiting, but it needs to get done soon. Breaking that down, I would pretty much evaluate each situation. Paperwork is more of an independent job, which I could take my time, do on my own when there's no customers around, when there's management is not requesting me to do something else, and a majority of my teamwork is done already. While customers waiting, they need to be spoken to immediately, greeted immediately, and helped. If one's waiting for a room, as long as you communicate with the guest and let them know you see them, you hear them, and you're there for them, they'll take their time and be a little less impatient waiting for me to clean that room, as long as they know that they're heard.
See, communication is absolutely essential at Homewood. You need to communicate properly with not only your coworkers, but also the customers that may be waiting to check in, or even, they're concerned about something in the hotel, and they just want to be heard, so that makes sense hearing that from you. So do you believe that communication should you communicate the same respect to your coworkers as to customers generally?
I believe there are different levels of respect between customers and coworkers. While customers can get angry, can let their personal problems get in the way of how they interact right then, the worker has to handle it appropriately. They have to keep their emotions out of it and just handle the situation and let the customer get their feelings out in the open. I believe when you're working with a coworker, you should keep your personal life separate than your professional. If something is upsetting you, you need to watch your tone more. You can't have a snippy tone. It can upset the customer, ruin their satisfaction, and make tension in the workplace go higher. So I believe when you're talking to your coworkers, there should be a line that you both respect of keep things strictly professional. And while the customer can be personal with you, you have to be professional back.
Okay, so that's a very good answer. So we have one more question in this interview. So I want to know why you would be the best candidate for the position. So how do you stand out to other individuals that are applying to be the front desk agent at Homewood?
I believe I stand out because I have so much experience in a related field already. While I might not have the skills in that field explicitly, I can transfer my skills of being in a 111-degree kitchen for 12 hours, standing, to like how I handled that. I believe I could handle standing at a front desk for 12 hours too, just a different temperature. I can handle guests yelling at me and being impatient while I'm standing at the host desk while they wait their table. I believe I could communicate with the guest at the front desk at a hotel just as efficiently as I can communicate with guests at the front desk of a restaurant. I think that makes me stand out because I know I have patience and I would like to share that with you. And I believe I would stand out also because I can handle the stress. And if someone yells at me, I do know how to compartmentalize my feelings versus my professional life very well.
We do need individuals who know how to work in a high stress situation because, you know, in the hotel business, it's stress, a lot of stress. Similar to a restaurant business, stress, stress, stress. So we're glad to know somebody who knows how to cope with that very well. So this concludes the end of the interview. So do you have any questions for us?
No, I don't. Thank you so much for asking. And I really appreciate your time and getting these questions together to talk to me.
Of course, it was a pleasure meeting you, Olivia.
It was nice meeting you too, Eric. Have a great night.
Thanks, you too.